Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to take a look at Corsair's all new brand new headsets called Virtuoso RGB wireless, and this is what it looks like. No cords, as you can see. It's for PC and PS4. The question is it any good? Let's find out. Yeah, these are the best gaming headset Corsair currently has to offer. Today we're gonna test these out on PC, Xbox and PS4, but yeah, that's a bit later. And there's no denying that these are, wow, they're very nice to look at and they feel absolutely the feel. There's lots of aluminum here and you're getting that, cold feel every time you touch them. Yeah, it's nice, but it also makes the headset slight bit heavier than much cheaper headsets, which is something to be aware of. They are, however, very sturdy in the hands, and the ratcheting is made of metal, as well as adjusting arms, as well as the volume knob, for example. And even the microphone is partly made of this material. By the way, volume dial got the perfect resistance this time as well, which is very nice to see. And yes, a knob on the side might not be that useful if you're sitting on PC, but once you bring them over to your PS4 or your Xbox, this is where this really shines and it works fantastic. So overall the build feels fantastic. We got minimal squeaks or cracks, which is refreshing to see for a gaming headset. The headband as well as the ear cup uses synthetic leather, and so this ain't real leather, and yeah, this is something that you wanna be aware of. Now in terms of comfort, I've got a fairly normal sized head and I would say that they sit on my head just perfect and the balance feels on point. The headband is, however, in my opinion, a bit too stiff for my taste. It's not a deal breaker, but it's not as comfortable as the Arctis 7, and because this is synthetic leather, it can get pretty hot after a few hours of use, which is something that you need to be aware of. And on top of that, they aren't the lightest headset around either, but it's something that I got used to pretty quickly. Now as for the battery, there is no way that you can access this, which is a huge bummer in my opinion. This is a $180 headset, and at this price point, this is something that I do think that we should be able to expect. But anyway, let's look at the specifications. Something that you would notice immediately is the much greater speaker specifications. Now normally most gaming headsets and headphones have a frequency range between 20 and 20 kilohertz, which is the range that the speaker can reproduce the signal in. But yeah, these custom 50mm Neo diamonum can go as high as 40 kilohertz, and the headset supports up to true high-fidelity 24-bit at 96 kilohertz, earning the high-res stamp. And what this means is that the speakers theoretically is able to produce higher and more accurate tones. This of course requires that the source, the game or the song you're listening to, was also made in this high-res format. Now in case you want to support the channel, I left affiliate links down below. I really appreciate the support from you guys. You guys are the reason why I'm able to afford this, so thank you so much for checking out the affiliate links. The headset is wireless and uses Corsair's new wireless Slipstream technology, which uses something called intelligent frequency shift to determine the strongest signal. In terms of range, we're looking at around 18 meters up to 60 feet, which I would say is what you would expect of a wireless headset. After testing this for a few weeks now, I would say that it's about the same as my Arctis 7, which is rated for about the same specifications. Anyway, the Slipstream uses 2.4 GHz wireless, and unfortunately you are limited to 16-bit depth here, and so in order to enjoy the high-res 24-bit audio, you're gonna have to use the braided USB Type A to USB Type C cable for that. It is not the end of the world, but it's something that you wanna be aware of. Once connected, the audio is crisp, the bass feels strong, as well as the heights, whereas the mid-range is a bit more on the neutral side and not as present as other speakers I've tested before. We got great vocal tonality, but maybe not as crisp as I was hoping, but definitely better than most headsets out there. And yeah, of course you have the equalizer to also play around with here, but overall the sound is great. In terms of microphone, it's of the type Omni-directional. We're going to listen to it in just a second, but what I can say right now is that it's actually very good. Battery life is supposed to hold approximately 20 hours, which I would say is about what I was able to achieve as well. Keep in mind, with RGB activated, yeah, as you can imagine, it will drain a bit faster. So if you like me, you find the RGB to be a bit necessary. I mean, you you cannot even see it right. You can easily inactivate this in the Corsair iCUE software under the settings menu. And since PS4 doesn't have any supported iCUE software to download, I recommend having access to a PC and do all the settings from there before you bring them over to your PS4 or your Xbox console, as EQ profiles as well as the RGB patterns, etc. You can only access that type of stuff through the iCUE software. All the adjustments you do in the software, the headsets that remembers, so you don't have to worry about that. I gotta say, unboxing these was such a nice experience. You definitely get the impression that Corsair is really trying their best, giving you the luxurious experience from the moment of opening up the box. Inside, apart from the headset itself, which is quite heavy thanks to the aluminum and leather being used here, you also find a braided USB cable, a Type A to USB Type C, as well as a 3.5 to 3.5 audio cord, for example if you want to hook it up to an Xbox One. And speaking of which, I feel like it's worth mentioning already, wireless only works on PC and PS4 and not on Xbox, and so that is something that you want to be aware of. But anyway, inside the box you also find USB transmitter. It's a pretty small thing and this is what it looks like. And yeah, inside the box you also find a microphone. It's got a frequency range of 10 to 10 kHz, which is what you would expect. And underneath you find a mute button. I gotta give some credits to Corsair already. What a brilliant spot to put it in. Anyway, this is what it sounds like. So this is the microphone test of the Corsair Virtuoso RGB wireless. In order to answer the question how good the microphone is of getting rid of background noises, I'm gonna start typing on my AM Pro 2 keyboard using a gate drum brown switches. So, hey, what's up on my AM Pro 2 with gate drum brown switches, and using my mouse, actively clicking while I'm typing on my AM Pro 2. So what if you use glasses? Well, because I'm using glasses from time to time when I'm planning videos for you guys, I wanted to try them out, and to my disappointment, it wasn't a nice experience because of the headband is quite stiff, pretty high tension between the glasses and my ears, so to speak. It takes about 10 minutes or so and then it starts to hurt quite a lot from the pressure, and so this is something that you definitely want to think about before purchasing. So if you use glasses, I would definitely say you don't want to buy these. You want to look for something else. Now again, if you want to make sure you get the most out of the battery, I highly recommend turning off the RGB, which can be done inside the iCUE software via the settings menu. Here you can also enable the battery gauge to show up in the tray to give you a better idea how much battery you've got left, so to speak. There's also this small LED on the right side of the ear cup that illuminates in either red, yellow or green, that also keeps track of your battery level. Now what about the experience on PS4? So bringing the headset over to PS4 was a flawless experience. The PS4 recognizes the headsets immediately and switches the audio source automatically. The sound and audio itself is what you would expect, although since the virtual surround is done on a software level, so there is not an option to activate this here, which honestly I don't mind anyway, since I'm not really a fan of virtual surround. I like to go as far as not recommending turning these on at all. Instead, I highly recommend relying on the features that is available in the in-game menu instead. Now as for the Xbox, again there is no wireless, which is a bit unfortunate here, and so you are essentially forced of using the included 3.5mm cord instead, which works, but because you need to keep them in wireless mode, they still drain battery, which feels a bit stupid, but yeah, that's how it is. So important takeaways guys, if you wear glasses, I do not recommend this. Now in terms of build quality, it's excellent and it's very durable. With less plastic, however, it adds a bit of weight. The headband is also quite stiff and it's not super comfortable, which is a bit unfortunate. The ear cushions are made of leather, which means that they are not as breathable and they can get pretty hot after a while. Honestly, I prefer velour, but there are a lot of gamers out there that have been asking for leather. Ear cushions are also pressing pretty heavily on the ears. Yeah, and because they are closed back, they're gonna be less sound leakage here, which some people like and others don't. Overall, this is a great headset, guys, that I'm happy to recommend to anybody looking for something a little bit more well built. Again, if you want to support the channel, you find all the links down below. And that pretty much wraps up this video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. And if you're looking for more technical, specific details about the headset, you find all the good stuff in the description box down below. In the meantime, watch either of these two videos for more awesome content. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. And until next time, you guys have an awesome day, right?